Hey guys, today we're going to expand on what we learned last time, and we're going to talk about applications of logarithms. And we're going to start with a word problem, number 3. It says a bacteria population triples in size every 7 hours. At that rate, how much bacteria will be present in 20 hours if there were 50 grams initially present? Well, the first thing you need to know is there's an equation that we're going to use to solve this. The equation is y equals c times e raised to the kt. C is the initial amount of whatever you're dealing with, like in this question, bacteria. Y is the final amount. T, of course, is time. E is a constant. That is a number. If you're curious what it is, if you turn on your calculator and simply hit second, and then the division key, there's E, and hit enter. It's kind of like pi. It's this long, crazy number. So it's not a variable. There's only 4 variables in this question. Again, C is the initial amount of stuff. Y is the final amount of stuff. T is the time it takes for that initial to become that final. And K is kind of interesting. K is this, I guess we'll call it this, rate of growth or decay. So if it's growth, K is going to be positive. If it's decay, K will be negative. So these questions are 2-step problems. We first, because it's usually not given to you, have to find K. Then second, they'll be asking us to find Y or C or T. And you'll see how this works in number 2. So let's first figure out K. Y equals C times e to the kt. You're going to use the initial information. If we're going to find K, think about an algebra problem. If we're going to find K, we better know C, Y, and T. So it's like a story. Did they give us a C that's going to become a Y in a certain amount of T? So it says in this question, a bacteria population triples in size every 7 hours. There's the initial story. If it's tripling in size in 7 hours, in order for us to substitute in 7 for T, we need to show some tripling. So you can call C whatever you want. I'm just going to call it a 1, as long as you call Y 3, triple. It doesn't matter. If you call C 10, Y needs to be 30, as long as the tripling is happening. This is going to enable us to find K. Step 1, well, after you substitute, divide both sides by C. Step 2 is to solve for K. To solve for K, you need to get this K out of the exponent spot. To do that, you're going to take the log of both sides. And since the base is an e, it's best to take the natural log of both sides. So we're going to take this exponent, or this exponent will then move out into the front if we're taking the log of both sides. So we have the natural log of 3 equals 7 times k times the natural log of e. The natural log of e we learned last time is 1. That's why we're taking the natural log of both sides instead of the regular old log of both sides. So this is really 7k times 1, which is 7k. And then to find k, you just divide both sides by 7. So again, just to recap, we replace C with 1 and Y with 3 because the problem says that the bacteria was tripling in this amount of time, 7 hours. We divided both sides by C, and then we took the natural log of both sides to allow us to do two things. Number one, the exponent can move out in front, and number two, the natural log of E is 1. So now it's very easy to solve on our calculator. You hit the natural log button of 3, enter, and then divide by 7. So K is this crazy long number. Use this whole entire number, 1.156944612, and it's K. And again, it makes sense that this is positive because the bacteria is growing. It says it tripled. Now, we're going to, for step 2, take our K value and plug it in to this equation. Take your K value and plug it in for K, and then if you read the rest of the question, it says at that rate, which we just found, that 0.156 number, how much bacteria will be present in 20 hours if there were 50 grams initially present? Well, if there's 50 grams initially present, that's C. The time, of course, is 20. They're asking us for a future amount, Y. So Y is missing. C was 50. E is always there. This K is 0.156, blah, 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 blah. And T is 20 hours. So let's just do this step by step. I still have my K value on my calculator. I'm going to multiply it by 20. That's my exponent. This answer, this 3.13, is going to be the exponent of my E. So I would then hit, look right above the natural log key, second natural log, and then your exponent is going to be this 3.3 number. You just hit second answer, which is right above the negative key. And then you multiply that by 50. So 1,153.91439 bacteria. So that's how many bacteria there will be in 20 hours, which makes sense. If the bacteria is tripling in 7 hours and there's 50 bacteria in 20 hours of constantly tripling, this is a lot, but it kind of makes sense. So try your best on the question I assign. Again, make sure you're finding K first and then use it to find C or Y or T, whatever the question's asking you. And have a good day, guys.